Good morning and welcome to another episode of Morning Java, brought to you as always by our friends at the Get Go Cafe and Market, where for a limited time only, as Mr. Tucker can confirm, it is Substravaganza month, $4.99 for a 7-inch sub, any 7-inch sub.
I'm going to give the cheesesteak a whirl today.
The cheesesteak is this man's choice. Let's talk a little bit about hockey and specifically Mike Sullivan. One of my favorite things about being around you since you've been with us is that you observe people. You ask a ton of questions. You actually can be a little overbearing at times in that regard because of that, but that's just your personality. Yep. Tell me about Mike Sullivan, the man, the coach, what you've seen.
He's a hockey coach in every sense of the word.
What do you mean by that?
He goes up and down, but doesn't go up and down. He's still that guy. He's that teacher that we've talked about before. But he can go up. He can ramp it up when he needs to. And he can let his players kind of take over a little bit when he needs to, but there's no doubt who's in control of this team.
Yeah, that's one thing that's amazing. When you're overseeing a process that has larger-than-life superstars, two of them, and a couple that are in the tier just below that, that there's never any doubt. There's never any doubt in all walks of the practices and everything that he is who he is. What about his ability to execute a teaching moment, to see, I mean, obviously they've struggled over the first couple of games here, but his ability to say, hey, that's it. I let you guys go for one game, but that's it.
Yeah, it became apparent really quick that he is in control, and he's won 2 Stanley Cups, but you wouldn't know that with the way he's reacting right now to how the seasons began.
Right.
It's teaching time, and he is taking this time. We're 2 games in, but it's never too early for this guy to teach, and he's on it.
One question that everybody's had, I think at least through the first couple of games, is Matt Murray. Dude's given up 11 goals in the first 2 games. There's nowhere that you can hide from that. But when he has faced me and you and others, he's not really all that moved by it, is he?
No, he sure isn't. In his own words, he doesn't look at the scoreboard. He can't control that.
Well, he can. He's the goalie, Cody.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of blown away when he said that. But he's laid back, calm, and cool. And we talked about this before. He has given up 11 goals on 65 shots.
Right.
Same thing that happened last year at the beginning
insane.
2 games.
Yeah, the exact same figures, by the way.
Yeah, and then the third game.
Shout out of Nashville. Of the Western Conference champion. So here comes Vegas on Thursday night. I've looked at Murray's approach, and it's an unapologetic one, and it's been true since his rookie year, since he had a rough spell, even in the Stanley Cup final his first year in San Jose, as that of a baseball hitter. Meaning he isn't as worried about whether or not he was able to poke the ball over the shortstop's head on a bloop, but he's more focused on his line drive rate. And he sees right now, for better or worse, fair or not, that he's actually doing okay in goal. What do you see? Because you went through these goals like a madman.
Yeah, he felt really good about his performance against Montreal. It was a 5-1 score. Not many people felt good about that performance, but Murray was not one of those. 1 goal was kind of his fault.
That late wraparound.
The late wraparound. He was slow reading it.
See, I'm going to disagree. I thought that one is just entirely on him.
I just thought slow read.
It's post to post, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you got to do is get that left skate over to the left pipe, and that guy's got no chance.
Yeah, and everybody looked like they were in quicksand, including Murray.
Right, but the rest of them.
Yeah.
But the rest of the goals that are in there, I mean, again, make the save.
Right.
And I can hear everybody as they're watching this. Make the save.
Right. And he knows that. As laid back as he is, he knows that.
He has to get to that point, and I'd be really surprised if that doesn't happen sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Riikola, star of the preseason, star of training camp, possibly the star of maybe, or at least a participant in the regular season pretty soon. He's out there in place of Olli Määttä in the top 6 in practice now. We'll see whether that comes to pass. But is Riikola, based on your experiences with him on or off the ice, is he ready for it?
Off the ice, I've never met somebody so happy.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
He makes you happy. He makes you want to talk and makes you want to talk hockey, even though he's hardly talking.
No, it's so
just
funny
in his
you
face.
say that about him, and we don't agree on this because I know he'll do these these 1 or 2 word answers, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, really? Is he trying to get rid of me? But then if you keep talking to him, you'll get more of the one-word answers, but he never stops being engaging. It's a strange thing.
Yeah, and I don't think he likes the scrums. I don't think he feels comfortable with the media scrums
yet. Cameras and microphones and stuff. Yeah, there's that too.
But we saw that this kid can play.
That's the number one thing.
He can skate, he can shoot, he can hit. And we actually, he's not a big guy.
6 hits in one preseason game, by the way, in a game where nobody else on either side registered more than 3.
Or was really hitting. I mean,
it was a soft game. And he was trying to prove a point. Like, I actually brought that up with him after that game, and he got all like, no, I wasn't trying to show anything. I'm just playing hockey. And I'm like, come on, man. You're the only one on the rink hitting.
Maybe it's the smaller rinks.
But I think that's part of the point that he's wanted to prove, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because all he's been hearing from management and the coaching staff from the first day is adjust to smaller rinks, adjust to smaller rinks. And to him, it's like, what?
Just play hockey.
Yeah, that's all he says, isn't it?
Just play hockey.
That's all he says. So he's out there. Can he step in and be an immediate upgrade over this current version of Olli Määttä that we've seen?
Current version, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this numerous times. It's doing him no good to sit up in the press box. Why he's not in Wilkes-Barre?
Riikola.
Yeah. Yeah. He needs to get out there. Why not now? Why not now?
Why not now? Especially with Olli struggling, and maybe Olli would benefit from just taking a game off. But you know what? Olli's not alone right now. They're going to have to be looking at a lot of guys there.
And they like the competition. So why not give Määttä some competition, especially from a fellow countryman?
Yeah, push. Evgeni Malkin, we've all been riding pretty hard here over a couple of games. But he and Phil Kessel need to click at an elite level, don't they, on the offense in order to compensate for what's just going to be natural at the other end.
Yeah, we saw that last year. Sullivan is not going to put up with...
No.
He's, like we said earlier, he's the coach. He is not going to be dictated. Nobody's going to dictate to him who he puts on a line. Those two have made it perfectly clear they love playing together.
Right.
But they have to produce.
Well, they have to... That's the thing, is if you're going to make... whatever it is that you would describe as Phil's stuff after, in the postseason last year and then afterward, and all the fuss that kicked up over it, they came in to camp and to preseason looking like they were determined. Both of them,
yes,
by the way.
Did. Yeah.
You saw that drill after drill, even in practices. They were great together.
More than impressive.
Yeah.
Even back-checking a little bit.
They were doing everything. So I really think that all that's happened here is that they've, in particular, 71 has gotten off to a really rough start where he just goes into la-la land.
Oh, breaking down some of those goals that Murray's given up, one thing that really stood out was a very slow-looking, very uninterested 71 coming up. I mean, Phil was the only one left.
His body language.
The body language is horrible.
The most damning thing you can ever say about a hockey player is that neither of his skates left the ice on the one glide back. Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about, Shorty?
Shorty. And Phil was the only one back on that.
And Phil was the guy back.
Right.
But 5-on-5, those two guys need to, I think, just look at Carl Hagelin and say, we're just going to play like that.
Yeah, which is easier said than done, but those guys could do it if they wanted to. Something that you pointed out at the game, Kessel let off a bomb from almost the blue line, which we never see on one-timers. You think he's pressing at all? You think he's just trying to get some offense going?
Phil's not.
Do we know anything about Phil?
I was going to say, Phil's not the pressing type, and if he was, we probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. That slap shot was just bizarre. But I could see what you're saying. They're looking for some kind of answers, but those answers, as is the case for this entire team, are going to come back in the defensive zone.
Yes, they are. And nobody in Sullivan's system can't play defense.
No.
Everybody has to play defense.
Can't do 180 feet, man.
Have to play 200.
Right.
And I know that those guys are definitely under a microscope right now in the film room.
And they're aware of it. They're aware of it.
Oh, yeah.